NetherRealm told us that Invasions was the future. They told us it was a love letter to the fans who wanted a deep single-player RPG experience within a fighting game. Well, it's March 2026. The definitive edition has been out for a year and the verdict is in. Invasions didn't just fail, it actively killed the momentum of a single-player experience within Mortal Kombat 1. So today we're looking at the board game from hell. We're talking about why the removal of the crypt was a multi-million-dollar mistake, how the seasonal model turned a legendary franchise into a mobile style grind, and why, even as a dedicated content creator who played basically every season of Invasions mode straight, I can confidently say that this is the worst mode in almost the history of the series. Like, if you think any of the other stuff was bad, wait till you hear what I gotta say about Invasions mode. But before we get into this video, if you don't know who I am, I'm Mr. Frosty Flames, but you can call me Mike. I do everything gaming, playthrough, news, reviews, anything FGC related or gaming related, period. So if you like this video, if you like these analysis videos that I've been doing, make sure you drop a like and comment your thoughts on this video and subscribe to join the Mr. Frosty Flames Legion. Anyways, back to the video. So before we get into anything, let's talk about the most obvious downgrade. Let's start with, the MK11 Crypt, a fully realized third-person adventure mode filled with puzzles, atmosphere, and actual horror elements. And we go from that to, a board game. In Invasions, you move a deformed character model along a line, and I mean really, because it's so glitchy. And that's it. There's no exploration, there's no discovery. It feels like a template for a mobile game that someone accidentally ported to PC and PS5. For a game that actually looks this good on my PC, seeing a lazy flat UI for a main single player mode is insulting. You spend 40% of your time watching that slow motion walking animation between nodes. This is not content, guys, it's padding. It's designed to inflate your playboard so NRS could tell their shareholders that engagement is up, while we're all sitting here bored out of our minds. And I mean, like, seriously, this is criminal. How could you, think that this is fun? How could you, go past testing phases, man? Okay, let me run down a typical Invasions map for you, right? In Invasions, if you guys haven't played it, you would have to play these different maps or go to these different, areas before you get to the last area to kill the final boss or the Titan, and then you get the skin. So within a map, you got to go through these confusing little nodes, and each node has a fight. And the fight is usually the same 3 or 4 enemies that are on the map. Like, they could be a character, but they'll be renamed something else, like Demon from Hell or something like that. And then there would be modifiers. But the thing is, these nodes are so constant that it's like you walk 2 feet and then there's another node, and then it's gonna be a different enemy. Then you walk 2 feet again, there's another node, and then it's gonna be the same enemy you fought 2 fights ago or 2 nodes ago. And I mean, it's so repetitive. There's really no value gain. You don't really get anything other than what from these fights? The seasonal currency that you could spend on some reskin color palette skin swaps or whatever, right, in the seasonal shop. Man, this is not even fun. And what's so disappointing is that they go from an obvious upgrade. I mean, back then in MKX and 9 and all the other games that had a crypt, all those 3D era games, they were just you would walk around in these cemeteries and that's about it, choosing the tombstone that you want to buy, and then you get a skin, a concept art, etc., right? In MK11, they have this open world thing. I mean, they did the world tour before even the world tour was a thing. It was it seemed like something that was a test phase for something bigger. It seemed like the closest thing that we would get to a conquest mode. There were no quests, no NPCs or anything, but you could fully explore this area as this unknown crypt guy that sort of looked like Rain. You solved puzzles, you could go all around down into Goro's lair. You had this hammer that you could swing around and kill these enemies that come at you, right? We were thinking, yo, imagine this in another game. If MK11 did the crypt this good, imagine the next MK game, how they could have upscaled it to a more satisfying and a more open and a more complete experience. It could be a conquest mode, man. But no, they downgraded even worse than before, because there's not even a crypt. There's Invasions mode, and nobody wants to grind in Invasions mode because it's just ass to play. It's so tedious. And because we're talking about gameplay, I just want to go more into depth in it. And this is where the real frustration starts. NRS decided that the only way to make a CPU fight challenging was to give basically every single opponent some super armor where no matter what you do to them, they would just like eat it like they're Superman or a Viltrumite or something. You know, it's like they're indestructible. Do you know how frustrating it is to have a 20 hit combo on lock, but you can't use it because the CPR just ignores your hits and uppercuts you mid-string? It completely goes against the point of a fighting game. You aren't practicing your characters. You're spamming the same 2 safe moves over and over and over and over again because the game literally won't let you play normally. And don't even get me started on those modifiers, you know, the smoke clouds that make you cough every 3 seconds, unblockable missiles, darkness that covers the whole screen, like you can't even see nothing. It's not challenging, this is just straight up annoying. It's artificial difficulty at its absolute worst, and this is why I say, how did they like go through testing and say, this is fun, this is what the players want, man. This is something that should be relegated to the side, you know. Put this in Towers of Time or something on a certain challenge tower that's completely optional, you know what I mean? Don't make this a real game mode and build your whole RPG system around it. It's not fun. Okay, let's calm down a second. Is there something at the end of each invasion season, at the end of each tedious battle, something make it worth a while to actually go through invasions mode? I bet there's always like a cool skin, right? So, you know, it can't be that bad, right? Wrong! Okay, we're gonna talk about rewards. The only reason anyone touched this mode were for the skins. But look at what we got for the last 3 years. Season of the Spectre, we've got orange and yellow. Season of the Storm, we got blue and white. It's literally just a bucket fill tool in Photoshop. We call them McDonald's palettes because they look like toys from a Happy Meal. They took the cool Order of Darkness skins and dripped them out so slowly that by the time you got to the one you wanted for your main, the game was already half dead. In 2026, we could see the full cycle. They just started repeating seasons because they ran out of colors. If your live service hook is just changing hue of the vest, you don't have a live service, you have a glorified spreadsheet. And then there's this talisman system, you know, these fake RPG elements. No, they were supposed to be RPG, but, you know, let's be honest. Did anyone actually care? You get bombarded with level 1 talisman even though you're level 30. Your inventory is constantly full, forcing you to discard items basically like every 3 fights. It's busy work disguised as a mechanic. On PC, we've seen the internal data. The stats on these talisman are almost meaningless until you reach the secret bosses that have 500% health, and then you have to use them. So the mode isn't just about, you know, skill, it's about having a wind talisman that deals 2000 damage. It's not a masterpiece, that's a broken system that NRS never even bothered to fix, even in the definitive edition. And here is the final nail in the coffin. Since support officially ended, we are now in like the repeat season era. If you missed the skin in 2023, you have to wait 2 years for it to come back around. They aren't adding new mesas, they aren't adding new intros, which the fans basically begged for day one, and it was an MK11, so why is it not an MK1? We should be innovating, guys. Hello? They just left it on autopilot. It shows a lack of respect for the players who stayed. When you compare this to Street Fighter 6's World Tour or even the Deception's Conquest mode for even like 20 years ago, it's embarrassing. Those modes had soul. They had NPCs you could talk to. They had a world that felt alive. Invasions, it just feels like a ghost town, and that's why it fails. It's not a fleshed out mode, it's just all gimmicks that make it look like it's something more than it is. So was Invasions worth the death of the Crypt? In my opinion, not a chance. I think it's a repetitive, grindy, shallow mess that prioritized player retention over player fun. It's the reason MK1 didn't make it to EVO 2026. It's the reason player base dropped faster than any other NRS game. And I want to know what you guys think. Did you guys play Invasions mode? Did you guys think it was grindy, repetitive? Like, do you agree with everything that I said in this video? Because me personally, I played through it because I like MK, I love MK. I'm a content creator as well, so I, you know, want to play through these modes for you guys. If it's wrong, let me suffer, don't suffer. And I sometimes would want to get the trash skins that they put out. So if NRS basically wants to save Injustice 3 or MK13 for the future, they need to burn this blueprint and go back to what worked. Give us an adventure, give us secrets, stop treating us like numbers on a chart. But hey, that's just my take. What do you guys think? Comment down below your thoughts on this video and your thoughts on Invasion mode as a whole. And if you enjoyed this analysis video, make sure to like, subscribe to join the Frosty Flames Legion, comment, share, and everything. I know I've been doing a lot of these analysis videos, but you guys love them. I started doing a MK1, you know, why MK1 failed video as a whole, but that kind of blew up, you know, in my channel. So I wanted to do specific videos breaking down each mode in MK1 and why I think it did poorly. I did the story mode, I did the gameplay, and then now I'm doing invasions mode. And I think this is the end of the saga. It's a pretty long one. I mean, you know, there are many videos of me hating on this game. I do love MK, but it's just, we deserve better, people. And I'm pretty sure everyone agrees. We deserve better. But anyways, that's just my take. Whatever you guys think, comment down below. And thank you all for watching. Mr. Frosty Flames out. Yeah.